So you've realised you want to do something with all that extra cash you're saving every month from watching this video right here, but you don't have a clue where to start. Don't worry, sit back, relax, I've got your back. In this video we're going to look at the simplest, easiest way of investing, even if you've never invested before. It's called index fund investing. My name's Dav Morse. I get my kicks in life from learning new stuff and passing on my knowledge to anyone who's willing to remotely level up their life in any way. So grab your cup of tea and let's get started. Investing in the stock market's risky, isn't it? You could lose all of your money, couldn't you? Well, by the end of this video, you'll know why not investing in the stock market is actually riskier, and you'll also know why if you do lose all of your money using the index fund investing approach, you better make sure you've got an off-grid cabin somewhere in Scotland because things aren't going to be pretty. So let's start with the stock market. What is the stock market? Well, essentially, the stock market's a little bit like a farmer's market, where people turn up to buy and sell stuff. But instead of buying and selling organic veg, grass-fed beef, and local honey, people turn up to buy things called stocks and shares, which are little pieces of a company. So you can go to a stock market on the line and buy little pieces of your favourite companies, Disney, Apple, Tesla, Google, whatever it is, and you will own a little bit of those companies. So why do people think you can lose all of your money in the stock market? Why do people think it's risky? Well, because you can lose all of your money in the stock market. If in 2002 you'd have put all your money into Blockbuster, then by 2010 you would have lost all of your money. Dang. So what can you do? If only there was a way of, instead of buying a little piece of one company, you could buy a little piece of all of the companies. Ding, 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 ding. There is. And it's called an index fund. An index fund is like a selection box. So instead of going and buying one flavour of crisp and hoping you haven't spent all of your money on cheese and onion, then you buy a selection box, which has all of the flavours. So when you buy £100 worth of an index fund, then what you're doing is you're buying £100 worth of teeny tiny little shares in all of the companies in that selection box. So if one of the companies goes bust, then it doesn't matter because the rest of the index will keep doing its thing, it'll keep tracking the market and it'll keep making you money. So if we do find ourselves in a situation where all of the companies in the S&P 500, the FTSE 250 or any other index you can think of have all gone bust, then we are literally facing the end of the world as we know it, the collapse of the financial system. All of the companies in the world will be bust. We'll be relying on our foraging skills, our survival skills, our small holding skills. That's the point where you need a small holding in rural Scotland, somewhere where you can survive off the land because, you know, te otwauk, which I may or may not be prepared for. So that's what an index fund is. Now let's get to why it's riskier not to be invested. One word: inflation. Inflation deserves an entire video just to itself, and I will make that video because somebody's already asked for it. But for now, let's just think of it as your money loses its purchasing power. That basically means if you have £1,000 in savings, 10 years from now, it'll only be able to buy you about £780 worth of stuff in today's money. If you're not putting your money to work, getting at least a return which is bigger than the rate of inflation, then you're actually losing your buying power. That means when it comes to using it later on, whether it's retirement or earlier than that, then the money that you've saved won't be able to buy you as much stuff. Index funds are the easiest, least risky way that you've got of beating inflation. And it's not just me that's saying that. Great investors like Warren Buffett, Graham Stephan, J.L. Collins, Jack Bogle all say that the index fund is the best way to invest your money. If you're a beginner or if you don't want to traipse through financial statements for hours a week, then this is absolutely the best way of putting your money to work so that you can grow your impact on the world. You are way better off investing in an index fund, which is passive, rather than paying someone to actively manage your money for you. Research shows that 89% of fund managers fail to beat the market over a 10-year period. That means if you put your money in index funds, then you're going to be better off than 89% of the fund managers out there. And that is without the stress of trying to beat the market. Over the last 140 years, the stock market has returned an average of about 10%. And over the last 10 years, it's even been up towards 13%. So let's take a look at what that means for our money. Okay, so here we've got an initial deposit. If you've got £10,000, which you can put into an index fund, I know that's way off for some people right now, but if you do this, even with a smaller amount, you can see how good it's going to be. So we're going to take an interest rate of 10%, and we're going to do that for 10 years. Okay, so we'll do that, we'll calculate this. And over 10 years, your initial balance of £10,000 without paying any extra into it has grown to £27,179.10, which is incredible. But if you leave it in for longer, this is where it gets fun. If we change this to 20 years, then all of a sudden it becomes £73,870.32. So that 10,000 initial deposit, even though we haven't added to it at all, it's turned into this amount of money. And if you do it for 25 years, it becomes £121,783.23, all from that initial £10,000. That is the power of compound interest, and that is why you have to get started right now. If we did go for 13%, which I know is on the high side, I don't think we can see that year on year for the next 25 years, but you'd end up, that initial £10,000 would turn into over £250,000. That's amazing. That is the power of compound interest. Just think how generous you could be. Now, there are literally hundreds of different index funds that you could be investing in. So in the next video, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm invested in. I'll show you the rate of return that I get. And maybe you want to do the same. Maybe you don't. It's up to you. It's your money. Do your own research. So in conclusion, if you want to put your money to work so that you've got a better life later on and you become increasingly generous, then index fund investing is the way to go. It is easy, it is simple, it is almost entirely risk-free over the long term, and the fees are usually really low. So if you want to know what I'm invested in, check out the next video, and don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. I've heard it's quite good. And you can pick up some free stocks if you check out the link in the description box below, and some free crypto as well. Until next time, peace out. Hoping that you haven't spent all your money on crisp and onion and are freeholding, not freeholding. So in conclusion, if you want to put your money to work to make your life better later on and increase it and become, if you're okay.